Hey there, scrappy friends. So this is part 2 of our purse mini album. And I realized after I had stopped the video on part 1 that I had a complete brain fart and we weren't actually done with page 1 yet. So we're going to finish up page 1 today. We're going to take 2, because I remembered after the fact I actually only used 2 of those triangles that we cut. And I have used a border punch. This one is the Memory Keepers that looks like the old Martha Stewart one, and it's a lacy edge. You don't have to use any of the border punches whatsoever. It's just how you would like to use it, how you want your purse to look, and what paper you pick to mat it, or pattern paper you use to make it with, and if it goes with that style. I'm doing the doily edge. So we're going to open it up here. And we've already cut and scored these, and like I said, I went ahead and punched it. So we're going to come in and we're going to miter that corner. We're just cutting right through, like so. And we're going to fold the edges and burnish. And then I come in and I just kind of trim it down at an angle to the tip. So, however you can see it best to do. I'm going to do that for both of them. Hopefully the weather will hold and we don't get any bad thunderstorms here. I'm calling for regular ones today, but we'll see. Alabama weather does its own thing. And we are just along for the ride. There we go. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. Alrighty. And we're gonna glue them right here. Now originally I had intended, if you want to use all 4, you can do. My original intention was to put them on the flaps here like this. But I didn't really care for the way they overlapped. And then I was worried about too much bulk on each flap. So I ended up just changing it to right here. And so that's what I'm gonna do, but you certainly can use both of them. You don't have to use any of them if you don't like. And the glue's gonna cooperate as usual. There we go. Always makes this work for it when I first get back. But I don't always get into my craft room every day, so. Would love to, but some days I'm just a little too tired when I get home. Not that I don't want to, it's just, I know if I do, I'm gonna cut everything wrong. There is nothing worse than cutting beautiful pattern paper the wrong size. So. Some days I just sit in the chair and veg because that's safer. I'm going to put glue on both ends. I don't bother with any tape on the little side pockets because really we're just kind of tucking the corner of things in. It's not like a regular pocket, so I'm not so worried about things getting stuck on the tabs. Okay, we're gonna burnish that down. Get any little bits that come out. Okay, now we are finished with page 1. And we're gonna add, no, we're not gonna add a magnet. We close this one with ribbon. Okay, so page 2. Again, this is why we put our numbers and our direction, because normally we would flip this way in a regular book. But on this book, we are flipping towards us. So now we can see we have page 2 oriented correctly. So if you'll take your pieces from page 2, so we have the belly band. That is 4 by 7, and we are just going to score it at a 1/2 inch at each end. So half and half. Then we're going to take our 4 belly band pieces and we're going to put them with the 4 3/4 side along the top. I know I score weird. And we're going to score it a 1/2 inch. So each of the 3 pieces get scored the same way. Okay. We're going to take our belly band and just tiny little miter. When I started, I did great big diagonal cuts and didn't realize it was supposed to be little. Oh well, live and learn, right? I don't do that anymore, so it's good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and burnish. Trying to make sure I do this all on camera for you so you can see it very well. Okay, now at this point you could put yours on top if you choose. I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and put my belly band down first, like so. I am going to go ahead though before I do that and attach my ribbon, because I have ribbon closing this. If you prefer a different closure, you know, that's great. Do that. This would be kind of the time to decide that and then plan it. About 10.5 inches here. There we go. I'm going to take my belly band here. My waterfall pieces to the side. And I like to attach mine with score tape. You can certainly use whatever makes you most comfortable. And there we go. Let me get my correct ruler here. The one that helps us find the middle. Okay. And put one there. And I'll put one on the other side. There we go. Okay. I like to burnish down my score tape so that it adheres really well to the cardstock. And then I'm going to place ribbon, burnish again, place the ribbon on top, burnish again. And because I don't do risk, again, accountant, we're going to put another piece on top that we're going to leave the backing on. Because nobody's going to see it anyway, but it'll make me feel better. Alrighty. Here we go. So, page 2, we see our direction. We're to the top here. And we'll go ahead and adhere this. Get my glue. Bring my ruler back in. There we go. I get the ruler, but then I kind of eyeball the belly band itself. You can most certainly mark every single middle and line them up if that's how you like to do it. That's going to help you be easy about it and not stressed. Please do that, because nothing is worse than having your crafting stress you out. That's just not cool. Okay. We are going to cover that up. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this again to the side, my direction. Okay. I want to be able to see that at all times so that I put things on correctly. So I'm going to glue my other end here. There we go. Just going to line it up to make sure. Yep. There we go. There we go. actually hanging over a little. I don't like that. So we're gonna make it just a little bit more loosey-goosey. I am. You want yours exact, obviously dry fit. But some we're gonna put stuff under there anyway. It'll be fine. There we go. Just gonna finesse it a little. Everything doesn't always fit perfectly, even though we would absolutely love it to. But that's good enough there. Not hanging over either edge, so that makes me happy. Okay, we're gonna take our waterfall pieces. Okay, so again, you have 3 of them. They're 4 by 4 3/4. We're scoring them at a 1/2 inch on the 4 3/4 side on your scoreboard. Before I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and do the corners. Don't have to do the corners. I just decided I wanted mine rounded, so that's what I'm doing. And it's easiest. Make sure I got that. Yep. Oop, wrong end. Batting 1,000 today. It is easiest to get them before you put them in the book. And I almost inevitably forget. I have got a little bit of writing here. I want to go ahead and... Sometimes when I make my book, something doesn't work out. I already have that piece of cardstock cut. So I just put it back in the bin and I can use it for something else then. No sense in completely wasting a piece of cardstock. If, you know, that element didn't work out, that's fine. It can be reused for a smaller one. Okay, we're gonna burnish the tops. Pull that off. Okay, now, I don't know how you prefer to do your waterfalls. I like to do them upside down. I know that's kind of weird, but it just helps me better. So that's what I'm doing. And we're just going to put on our glue and line it up nice and neat. Press it down, burnish it down. I like to open mine up, make sure I don't have any glue come out. On to the next one. Line it up with the next. I know this is hard to see the black. It's probably my least favorite base color. I know other people absolutely love it. I have a harder time with the darker one. To me, it's easier to see things line up with the lighter colors. But I don't know. And then other people think the darker ones are easier to see. So I guess it's everyone's eyes. And mine just aren't very good, I'm gonna be honest. I'd love a new set because these ones have never wanted to act nice. Alrighty. Okay, we have our belly band, and then we just can tie it closed. I'm just doing a rough ribbon. This is bow. This is not gonna look good. So we're just gonna roll with it. We'll have time to perfect it later. So here you go. That is the last of page 2. So we have the belly band here that we can put our inserts under. We have the small waterfall on top. Alrighty. Then we are going to take page 3. And let's get our page 3 pieces. So this one has what I call a pocket flap. It's going to have a big flap here like this. And we are going to create a pocket with this piece. So we've got our 3 edges and we're going to fold them back, and then this is going to sit over top of the 2. And this bottom tab is actually going to connect down to the bottom of the page. So it'll pull back like that, but it's actually a pocket that pulls back because we're going to enclose it. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm not sure what it's officially called. or if it even has an official name, but that's what I'm doing. So we're going to miter our corners on the large flap. I need my glasses on. I'm right where I'm starting to have trouble up close, even though I've always been nearsighted. But not enough to warrant paying the extra for the contacts that have a little bit of a bifocal. My optometrist actually said, yeah, you know, you don't need it yet, just yet. Don't pay the money. Get regular contacts and just have your lowest powered readers available. But I notice lately I seem to be reaching for them more. Okay, so this flap is going to go up. So as we can see here, there's our page 3. I'm going to put it to the side too, or as well. Excuse me, page 3 to the side as well. There's our up direction, but I'm going to turn it around to attach, and then I'll get it going the right direction again for you to see. So, and I'm just going to eyeball this again. If you like to really truly center everything, by all means, please make your marks, do whatever you need to do to make the process enjoyable. You want to enjoy the process and you want to enjoy your results. So, oops, I'm going to burnish down, open it up, burnish again. Okay, so here we are. You can see this is going to go up. That is the direction of the flap as well as the direction of the top of the page. Okay. And then we have our page here that we have scored, our section here. We have scored at 1/2 on each of the short ends and 1/2 on the long end. What I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to go through these little squares like we normally do, just like a pocket, because that's basically what we're making. We're just going to attach the pocket slightly different. And we're going to miter. And right now, I just want to fold the 2 ends, the width ends here, not the length, but the width, doing each end, and we're going to fold good. Okay. Now we want to dry fit this piece. This piece goes on the back. We don't want it to interfere. We don't want it to hang over, so it's going to have to be trimmed a little, I can tell. We don't want it to hang over the top or on the sides, and we don't want it to interfere with this scoring. So if you want, we can go ahead and fold that so that you can see it better. And this is going to come over top. But as I'm dry fitting it, I can see it's too long and a little too wide. So I am going to take off a little bit, about a 1/16 off the bottom, and off the side. Well, a little more like an 1/8 off the side, but that's okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to come back and make sure when I line it up with the top, you can see I have clearance. I have clearance here. Here is, I don't know if you can see, here's the score line, and there's the edge. So I've got like a 1/16 of an inch clearance, and that's what we want, and that's having it lined up with the top. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit on the tabs. Not quite going all the way to the edge, because I want to make sure I get all that glue covered. Take that off. Okay, so I'm going to line it up on this side with the top and come over and catch the other flap. Okay, and we're going to burnish down. All right, so we have glued the 2 side flaps, the 2 width, down under and folded it in, and you can see we've created a pocket. And now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere You know what? You do not want your top flap to hang down below the edge. This one, it looks like I need to take about a 1/16 off. So, I wonder if I can get that sitting nice. I'll take just a little bit off. Okay. Double check. Yep, there we go. We don't want this to hang over because what's going to happen is we are going to glue this down here and on the tab, and then it's going to fold up and hold this flap in place. Okay? So you definitely don't want your large flap to run over the edge of your page. And we don't normally want that anyway, but it's especially important here. So I'm going to fix these corners. All right. And now, this one I will kind of be a little more picky and not eyeball as much. I'm gonna line it up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Gonna line it up with my ruler, and my Tim Holtz ruler that gives me the middle. So, this tab, normally we would put glue on the inside here. We're not doing that. We're gonna put glue on the outside because we're adhering it down to this page. Okay? Okay, so we got lined up. Here is our middle. There we go. The edge at the bottom. Press down, burnish. Burnish really good, and then you can see this is going to come like this. Okay? So we do need a couple of magnets. One on up here first, and then we'll get the other. Hey there, Beaky Beak. No barking. We have a schnauzer that entered the premise. Which is fine so long as he lays down in his bed and takes a nap. Otherwise, he's getting thrown out. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to use another piece of score tape on top to adhere this down. No barking, Beaker. No. He's looking out the window for us. Because how dare the neighbors be in their own driveway? Capital offense. Okay, so this is our page 3. And we're going to make a tag to put in here. Or you could just use, you know, a little photo mat, like a photo card to put in, a little booklet. I mean, it's a pocket. You can put whatever you want in there. So they'll come back, that'll come up. We have nice, great big spaces. Okay, so once again, it's time for us to turn the page. And goodness. When we turn the page, again, we're going to bring it back towards us because that's how our hinges are running. And I should have put this in the corner all along. I don't know why I didn't do that. Would have made more sense. All right. And on the next one, we will start page 4.